So go ahead and sell me this pen. How many of us have come across this question during an interview? And how many of us were not prepared on the right way to answer this question? Now, while I agree that this may not be a make or break question, it makes a lot of sense to have a basic idea about how to go about answering this question. So this is precisely what we will cover in this particular video. So if you are interested, keep on watching. Hello you guys, welcome back to the Marketing Empress. Let me start off by first thanking you guys for the 190 subscriber milestone that you helped me achieve. And of course, with this milestone, we have the next milestone, that of 200 subscribers. So before we get into the content of this video, ensure that you like, share and subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell notification icon, and make sure you share this video with as many people as possible so that we reach the 200 subscriber milestone ASAP and I release the next video in this series. Now without further ado, let's jump into the content. This video will answer the following questions. What is the intent behind asking this question? Some tips to respond to this question. What should you avoid while answering this question? And lastly, we'll look at some examples of answering. Let's start with the first one. What is the intent behind asking this question? Now remember that this particular question is more so related to a sales or marketing profile. And you will not be asked this particular question if you were getting interviewed for a finance role or an HR role or something like that. So of course the intent behind asking this question has to revolve around understanding your marketing or your selling skills. But broadly speaking, the content of this particular section of this video can be broken down into the following parts. First one, understanding your sales skills. Now this is very important guys, because the interviewer needs to know the right skill set that you possess. How fast can you think on your feet when you are put into a situation where you need to answer spontaneously? That is what is being judged. Number two, your communication skills. Now I have already spoken a lot about ensuring that your communication skills are spot on for any marketing profile. And I have done this in the previous video under this series, which is how to answer about your strengths. And if you have not watched that video, I will link it at the top so you guys can go check it out. But for this particular video, it's very important for you to understand that your communication skill plays a major role in getting this answer correct. Third and the last one is your enthusiasm level. When you're asked this question, believe it or not, the interviewer knows that it's a spontaneous question that's been thrown your way. And your enthusiasm level, while has to be really strong throughout the interview, it need not drop when you're asked a question out of the ordinary. Next, we look at some tips to respond to this question. Now remember that there is no one right answer to this particular question, because obviously this question is going to be subjective in nature. But broadly, these are the following tips that you need to keep in mind while answering this particular question. Number one, again, show some enthusiasm. Start by answering this question with a smile. Trust me guys, I cannot elaborate more on this, but as a matter of fact, a smile is something you need to have constantly throughout the interview. That shows positivity, that shows confidence that you are able to answer this question correctly. Number two, ask questions on your customer's needs. Now, you have to be empathizing towards your customer needs and wants. Remember, there is a difference between the needs and a want, alright? So, it may be a situation that the customer, who in this case is the interviewer, may not need a particular product. However, your sales skills can ensure that the customer or the interviewer wants the pen. Alright, so you have to ensure that you're asking questions around your customer's needs. These questions could be somewhere around what is the pen that they're currently using? What is the use of having a pen in their lives? What are the qualities that they look for when you're buying a pen, etc. Third point, match the needs with the features. Now that you know what your customer needs are, it's about time that you focus on understanding and matching those needs with the features that your pen provides. Remember, this question is extremely hypothetical in nature. So this particular pen may not have all the features that you're talking about, but you have the leeway to come up with something on your own. Number 4, get your emotions in. Now, I cannot stress on this enough. Whenever, remember, and this is a crucial point that you need to keep in mind with respect to sales. Whenever features do not sell, emotions do. And as a matter of fact, a lot of sales skills are based on this particular trait. Understand that your features may not always work out. And the interviewer in this case may anyway not pay heed to the kind of features you're offering. At this point, it makes a lot of sense to have an emotional angle added in. And lastly, understand that you need to appreciate or accept objections. Always remember that a sales person will be the one who can handle maximum rejections. And guys, sales, while I believe comes naturally to some, for those it does not come naturally to, need to work their way around. So one of the crucial things that you need to understand while interviewing for a sales position is that rejections and objections is a way of life. At the end of the selling pitch that you come across for this particular question, the interviewer may still reject your answer. But remember that this is not the end of the world. And always remember that if you accept the defeat with confidence, it's going to be an add-on. Now let's look at what are the things that you need to avoid while answering this question. Now that I've told you how to go about answering this question perfectly, there are 2 things that you must ensure to avoid. Number 1, refuse to answer. Trust me guys, it may seem absurd, but I've seen a lot of candidates refuse to answer this question. And this is a big negative. Remember, you may not be able to sell this pen confidently. The interviewer may not may not take into consideration the kind of efforts you put in to answer this question. But at the end of the day, because you've made an effort, it's going to count. So do not be under the impression that I will just refuse to answer this question and skip this and move on to the next one. That is going to be a definite negative. The second thing to avoid is to just start a monologue wherein you will just talk about the features of the pen. It comes with a red ink, it's got a plastic body, it's got this feature, that feature. You're not taking into account the customer's needs, you're not taking into account the customer's usage, and hence talking only about the features is not going to help you. So ensure that these 2 things are avoided right from the start when answering this question. Lastly, let's look at some examples. As always, the examples to this particular question will be available on the blog www.themarketingempress.com. And always I will be linking the blog post in the description box below, so you guys can go check it out. And I will be providing 2 examples to this particular question, and one of them I have used in the past myself, so I can vouch for it, and I did clear that interview. I am not sure if this question's answer was the reason behind me clearing that interview, but nonetheless I'm pretty confident of that. So ensure that you go ahead and check that out. I'm sure it's going to help you build your own answer. And before you leave, as always, you know the drill. Like, share and subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell notification icon so that the next time around we upload the next video in the series, you guys are notified. Do not forget about the 200 subscriber milestone and help me reach there as soon as possible. Until next time, bye-bye.